This afternoon, we're taking a look at some holistic options to improve how you look and how you feel. Joining us with some suggestions is Dr. Sabrina Fabi. All right, Dr. Fabi, I love anything dealing with holistic solutions. So last week we talked about diet. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
Today, let's tackle the two other big elements of health, exercise and sleep, starting with exercise.
Okay, and so we always talk about exercise, sleep, and decrease in stress and helping prevent heart disease or Alzheimer's. But all of these are manifestations of what I always talk about is a lot of inflammation. Aging is an inflammatory process. And so if you are not going to be vain enough to just decrease your, or perhaps increase your exercise or decrease your stress because of a decrease in cardiovascular disease, you can perhaps do it to decrease wrinkles. What we have found is that these things also impact the way we look. And so sometimes I have patients coming in for fillers and laser procedures, and they may be more inclined to do something so that they can enhance the results from the procedures that they're doing because they may save more money. And so I liken it to these wrenches. Today I have them.
Ooh.
And so they're the same age wrench, but this one looks a lot older because it's essentially gone through an oxidative process, very similar to what our body goes through. And so you can think of yourself every time that you sleep less than 5 hours, or you're more stressed, or you don't exercise for 4 hours a week, as being the more older wrench. And so that's really what aging is. And so when we talk about exercise in specific, there was a study that was done between the ages of 18 to 86 years of age. They took these subjects and they basically biopsied their skin. And they separated them between those that did exercise for 4 hours or more, and this was high intensity aerobic exercise, versus those that did it for less than 4 hours. What they found was that those that exercised greater than 4 hours had thicker skin, more collagen, and their skin was smoother than those that reported exercising less than 4 hours. Even if they were 20 years old and they exercised less than 4 hours, a 60-year-old could have the same quality of skin.
Wow, that is incredible. Let me ask you about this BMD. I've heard of BMI, your body mass index. What's the BMD?
It's your bone mineral density. It's basically the composition of calcium and other minerals that make up your bone. And so this exercise didn't only just help with wrinkles and improving the quality of skin, but that exercise can also increase your bone mineral density. We always talk about the importance of that to prevent hip fractures, which can increase to mortality in people that are older, but it can also improve the way you look. So if you have higher bone mineral density, you can look younger, require less fillers and other cosmetic procedures. And so in these patients that exercised at least 4 hours a day, they had better bone mineral density.
Yeah. Before I let you go really quick, is there a specific type of exercise? I mean, you know me, I'm kind of a yogi. I try running and I'm just horrible at it. And I'm just not a runner. I just can't do it. So is there specific, you mentioned like high intensity workouts.
So you can cycle. That's another way to obtain this, but you do need to have basically a higher heart rate in order to get these more beneficial effects. Just like you, I like Pilates. And so perhaps, doing some interval training, if you're not one to be chronically just running or cycling for 45 minutes to an hour, perhaps doing high interval training just to kind of bring up that heart rate so that you can get this added benefit for your skin and bones might not be such a bad idea.
Always good insight. And for the record, I'd really like to be the shiny wrench, not the wrench that never wore the sunscreen and was set outside for a long
Because this is pretty much what it is.
Yes. Dr. Fabi, always great to have you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Jen.